This conference will now be recorded.
I think you're on mute, Francis.
We have like weather today in California. Not quite. It's because we have blue patches in the sky. You cannot see them in the picture, but we have that. Anyway, sit comfortably. Welcome the totality of your human experience. Please make sure your mics are muted. Imagine you have just arrived in the world. Just 1 second ago, meaning you know nothing. Everything is fresh and new. You are just open. That's meditation. You know nothing. You are in learning mode, so to speak, but it's a learning mode in which you don't accumulate previous knowledge. You are newborn from moment to moment. As a result, you don't know what your relation is to that which you perceive. You don't know, for instance, you are in the world. It's as if you had all of a sudden been instantaneously transported from wherever you were before, having forgotten everything about the past, and you have been transported to a very fancy movie theater. Whatever you perceive is the movie. The only relation between you and the movie so far is that you perceive it. And see that if your only relation between you and this sophisticated 3D movie in this 3D movie, or more than 3-dimension, multi-dimensional movie theater, because it's really virtual reality. It's not just images and sound, but you have also smell and taste and tactile sensations and sensation of motion, bodily sensations and thoughts, all of that at once. So a very sophisticated virtual reality movie theater. But from the very beginning, your only relation to it is that you perceive it or perceive the movie. Now, that being given from this experience, can you conclude any other form of relation between you and the movie? For instance, can you conclude that you are in the movie? Can you conclude that the movie existed before you? Can you conclude that the movie will have a continued existence after you, if there is such a thing as after you? You see that in this case, you cannot establish any other kind of relation between you and the movie other than that, other than the obvious. I am perceiving the movie. That's all. You cannot conclude any other form of relation between you and the movie other than I perceive the movie. That was your situation when you became aware of your surroundings, perhaps already in the womb. Hearing sounds, feeling the temperature, perhaps, or the emotions that your mother was going through, perhaps the movement also of your mother. But from the beginning of those perceptions, you couldn't conclude any form of relation between you and an external world or something external to you as awareness. Since that was true, on the first moment, this absence of conclusion, in other words, this not knowing. Since it was true at moment one, it remained true at moment two, and at moment three, meaning 1 second after, 2 seconds after, 1 year after, and 60 years after. Because you cannot establish a new conclusion based on a previous conclusion because there was no previous conclusion. Before you were not knowing. So in fact, when I say, be the witness of this movie here, as if you were new to the world in this moment. What I am describing is simply our experience in the moment. Since we have never been able to establish a relation with that which we perceive other than our perceiving it. Not our being in it or being something of it. That is due to the fact that awareness came first. And whatever else thereafter. Having understood this, that gives us an instantaneous way to meditation, to this not knowing, to this newborn-like attitude towards whatever we perceive. Knowing that it is the only true attitude we can have. The rest is simply based upon all kinds of belief systems, hypotheses. So meditation is simply a reduction to what we know for certain. Back to the basics. Nothing to do with New Age crystals, auras, reincarnation, life after death. Energies, vibrations, whatever. Simplicity. Wisdom is knowing that we don't know and living our life in accordance with that. And if we do that, we know from moment to moment what we need to know. In this way we travel light. We don't need to accumulate knowledge unless it's for fun. Like having a bottle of champagne in our rucksack, in our backpack. Just to celebrate. So skills, because we enjoy them, that's fine. Knowledge, because we enjoy them. Knowing music, knowing the skills necessary to perform tasks that correspond to our vocation, discovering, or everything which is fun, yes. We could use knowledge, knowing that it's not that important after all. So knowledge is about practicality and celebration. That's it. It is relative, not important, and not certain, above all, to be taken with a grain of salt. And the rest is freedom, availability, space, not knowing, openness, welcoming. Whatever passes by is not important. The flow of things is what it is. It is not really affected by the actions of ignorance. flow of things in the Tao. There is a simple, beautiful saying they have in some Arabic traditions, which goes, the dogs bark, the caravan passes by. So don't worry about the barking of the residues of ignorance in you. Let everything flow, imperturbable. Like the camels and their proud riders. In this way, we connect to the mystery of love beyond life and death. Thank you.